5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
Good evening and welcome to the Joust. My name is Naggy. I'm joined once again by my faithful co-host, Mr.
Yes.
Liam Francis McNeil.
A good man of faith. You're right, Naggy. I'm a man overflowing with faith
Yeah.
in all the institutions of society that we love so much.
Integrity,
Integrity,
faith, yeah.
commission, faith.
All
yeah,
of those things.
All those.
But Liam, I understand. Now, you're not much of a filmsman. You don't.
No.
Really, you don't watch many. Often
The ones I like, I watch more than anyone should. I think I've seen Love Actually 5,000 times.
So you-
but
yeah.
the list of films I haven't seen would embarrass a normal person.
Yeah, there's
Pulp
quite a-
Fiction. Never seen it.
Never seen Pulp
Not
Fiction?
once in my lifetime.
No.
I only watched Reservoir Dogs for the first time like 2 years ago. Pretty
Oh,
good.
Okay, yeah.
Not bad.
Not a bad film.
Yeah, but we're doing it early, hats off. Happy Gilmore 2. Fucking great movie.
You saw Happy Gilmore
What a
too.
return to form for Mr. Sandler. It
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Have you ever found him to be out of form, Liam?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Very, very many times, yes. But he nailed it with Happy Gilmore too. What a tale, a heart-wrenching tale of a man racked with guilt and shame and hurt and a family that's being torn apart by substance abuse and then Shooter McGavin out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Great movie. I loved every second of it. I had so much fun watching that.
I haven't seen it, but you've
Great.
You've
Everyone should see it. Everyone in the world watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Does it capture the same sort of essence of the first film?
In the second half, yes.
Okay.
The first half's like this sort of intimate character study.
Oh, right.
And then it just goes completely off the rails and it's awesome. That's very, very good. Watch it all. If you don't watch it, then fine. Enjoy your day. I don't give a shit. But it's really good.
Christopher McDonald hits
He
it,
was unreal.
always hits it out of the park. Like,
Oh,
no,
he was
no matter
so
what,
good.
no matter what he's in, he's
Yeah.
just very, very good. As
And
shit.
it was such a great... I don't want to spoil it, actually.
You can
Actually,
spoil
no,
it, yeah.
bugger it.
Yeah.
Great redemption story for Shooter McGavin. He
Yeah.
really redempts himself well.
Okay.
Yeah, great movie. Everyone watch it. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I went into it, I purposely had zero expectations. Like, this could suck. It could be great. So I'm not going to decide until it finishes. And I stood up and I clapped.
That's right.
And Brittany said, "Sit down, you dickhead." And I did.
Speaking of places that we should be clapping and things that we should be clapping for, of course, is our musical guest of this week. It gives me great pleasure to welcome, fresh from his tour of Lake Haven, Mr. Guitar Woods.
Well, now like them, we can't contend. The season's gone. We played like shite. The Raiders won. Not having fun. Are we in a slump? Or are we just crappy? Are we just crappy?
Thank you,
Wonderful
Mr.
stuff.
Woods. Yeah,
Wonderful stuff. What an amazing rotation of musicians we have every week.
Yeah.
Speaks to the great depth of the music scene of Lake Haven.
It does.
Which one's Lake Haven? There's so many different havens on the way up the coast. You got Lake Haven, you got
Yep.
Charm Haven. That's both of them, actually.
Yeah.
Which one's which? I don't know.
Pizza Haven, I think.
Pizza Haven, Blue Haven, of
Blue
course.
Haven.
Blue Haven,
because
okay.
that's if you remember back to the footy show, Blue Haven Pools
Blue Haven Pool, Sterlo's company.
with the elephant.
The elephant.
For some
yeah.
reason, they
Sterlo
have-
and elephants.
Why did they have an elephant that was
don't
involved
know.
in selling pools?
I remember growing up in Group 2 country, whenever you go play in Woolgoolga was an interesting place because it had a really big Sikh population.
Yes.
So the first thing you see when you come into Woolgoolga is this enormous, like,
Temple.
Taj Mahal temple
Yeah.
with these huge life-size elephant statues out the front. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, just an aside.
Just a start.
Yeah.
Where is Woolgoolga? Is that mid North Coast?
Yeah,
That's-
Whoopi's about half hour north of Sawtell.
Okay. How far away is that from Coffs? Everyone knows Coffs is.
Yeah.
sort of,
About half hour and maybe 4 minutes less than half an
that's
hour.
the beauty of the mid North Coast. Everything's
Everything's
about
half
half
an
an hour
hour,
away. The big smoke of Coffs Harbour,
Oh,
of course.
I'll tell you, going into the big smoke into Coffs Harbour, Park Beach Plaza, it was systems overload in there.
I went through Coffs Harbour recently. They got
I'm sorry you had to do that.
the
It's a
big,
shithole.
obviously the big banana.
Oh, we're very proud of the big banana up there.
It's on one end of the highway that you almost think when you're driving through, have I missed it? Have I driven past
It's
it?
easy to miss because
But
it's
then-
sort of on the down slope. As you sort of go up around the mountain a little bit and then come down. You blink and you'd miss it.
If you're coming
which is
south-
weird because it's an enormous bright yellow banana.
If you're heading north, it's at the end, but then if you're coming the other way, it's right at
yeah,
the beginning.
it's closer to Karora. It's more Karora than Coffs Harbour.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's right near bloody the resort the Wallabies used to go to, and then Opal Cove. Wallabies used to go there for all their camps, and the Blues used to go there for all their camps.
What happened?
Probably some weird sex crime. I don't know. We know what rugby.
Just spitballing, everybody.
Yeah, if you put a rugby league team in a hotel, bad things are bound to happen.
Just spitballing, right? Spitballing.
Such a shame.
Yeah, we're spitballing.
There's also the big windmill, of course.
Yeah, the big windmill. That was sort of.
Was that after the big banana?
Yeah. So the big windmill was on the south side of town. So
Yeah.
you go past about 15 car dealerships,
Yes.
you hit the big windmill, and
Yeah.
then on the other end of town, you've got the big banana. So that's sort of the bookends of Coffs Harbour: the windmill and the banana.
Does the man that came up, or the woman that came up with the big windmill that said, "Hang on a second, we're into big things. This is a big thing town."
Well, it's a big thing country. We love
Yeah.
big things.
But they have lots of bananas.
Oh yeah, banana.
I haven't seen many windmills.
Our local, the local credit union in Coffs Harbour was called Banana Coast Credit Union.
Yeah, right.
It's famously the Banana Coast.
It's a
of
big
Coffs Harbour.
windmill. I haven't heard of the big windmill.
No one. It's the
Is it
unheard.
just a windmill? There's no other windmills around?
It's big. I don't know. But
Well,
like,
if you
I suppose-
compare it to actual windmills,
Windmills,
it's just a
fucking-
regular sized windmill.
Windmill.
But it's the kind of windmill you'd see like in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And it was just like some
traditional
Yeah,
windmill.
it was just some shitty like corporate motel. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
just, hey, we build a big windmill. It's like, our motel sucks.
Yeah.
How can we make people want to go there? A big windmill.
Big windmill. We can bring people to
Yeah.
the town. You love big things clearly because you're in Coffs Harbour.
Let's get a windmill going.
The banana's great, and also there was a thing when they redid the big banana that it wasn't as big.
Really?
I think so.
That's a shame.
Maybe people
What
just got
happened in this
larger.
country?
Maybe people just got bigger and they like
So you're
remembered
totally
it.
like it's tiny. It's just
Yeah.
it's actually just a banana.
Yeah.
But you were a baby when you saw it. So
Like
this
it's-
is the biggest thing in the world.
Growing up in Port Stephens, Nelson Bay seemed big when I was a child.
That was huge.
Now as an adult, it's very, very tiny. It's a very, very tiny place.
Really?
Yeah. It's not big. It's not big at all.
Wading pool.
I think it's one of the very few Hog's Breath cafes left in Australia. Is it Nelson Bay?
Is it?
Should have a Joust after season dinner at
Hog's Breath
in Nelson Bay. Well, no,
delicious.
they've rebranded. It's just Hogs now. I
Oh,
think.
it's just Hogs.
Yeah, there's not many around.
Hog's Breath doesn't really excite the
It sounds
sort of
terrible.
culinary feelings within me. Like, but they had the curly fries. Everyone remembers the curly
now,
fries.
my dad was a bit of an innovator when it came to that. There was a caravan and camping tourism show when he was running the caravan park in Valor Beach. And these Americans turned up and they're like, oh, we've got these new kind of fries. They're curly. And Dad's like, that'll never catch on. It won't work. It's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
The very next year, Hog's Breath became the biggest franchise in Australia on the back of their curly fries. No one's going there for the steak.
It's basically the tornado potato thing that you can get at most things.
No,
now.
it's not. No.
Well,
no,
it's
no,
the same-
no, 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 no.
it's more
so
fried.
drastically different.
It's more fried.
They could not be more different if
The
you
dust
tried.
devil of potatoes. That's a tiny tornado.
I think it's the best. I think it's the best chip shape. It's the best chip shape.
The twirl, the round and round.
Yeah. No, the curly fry. The round and round, not great. Curly fry, yep.
What
Give
about
me
the ruffled fry?
Love those.
Yeah.
Any kind of chips. I just love all chips, except sweet potato chips. Stop trying to make sweet potato chips work.
Yeah. But
We
you're
all gave up on them. They're terrible.
you're a thick chip man rather than the thin
I'm
fry
an every
man.
chip man.
That's true.
I love them all.
Love
So
potato.
anything made of potato, I'm
Yeah.
in. I'm in.
Speaking of big things, Liam, we must cover. we must cover everything that's hitting the front pages of rugby league in the segment we like to call the news. Thank you, guitar.
Doing that with the guitar over there, it's like you made the room wobble trying to get it all happening. That was fantastic.
yeah. He's getting a drum on his back next week and a harmonica on his face. Cowbell's going to be involved. Speaking of this, No, not him. No, a different
The next
musician.
guest.
Yeah, the next musical guest. Every time. Liam, Peter Parr has not wasted any time
He has
whatsoever.
launched into this new role. Isn't
Yeah.
it exciting?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
gone
yeah.
in all guns blazing.
He's decided to sign a memorandum. Now, Liam,
Of understanding.
Of understanding.
Yeah, that's the best kind of memorandum.
Now, this is the obviously the CEO of the Newcastle Knights reaching out to all the groups. Now, everyone's got a group number, Group
Yep.
21, Group 4, Group 12,
We were
6.
famously Group 2 up the Mid-North Coast.
Yep.
Remember we played a rep game for Group 2 against Group 1 once?
Yep.
Fucking smashed us.
Smashed us.
I scored 1 try, and Group 1 scored about 7.
Now, that wasn't... They're not ranked. It's not like you don't move up in the groups.
No,
do you?
it's a regional base.
It's a regional
regions.
base.
It's
So
regions.
you have to, you're stuck within your regional
Yeah.
number. I remember Group 21, obviously the Fingal Bay Bomboras out
Yep.
there.
Famously,
Famously.
Fingal Bay, famously in the western half of the Hunter
Yeah.
Valley. That's, of
Yeah.
course, because this is a big one now. Group 21, because always local juniors like, this is Pom country.
Yeah.
Pom, just think,
Going thoroughbreds.
Pom, if you were 30 years younger growing up playing for the Thoroughbreds now, you could end up in the Knights pathways.
That's right.
It could happen. Yes. but Group 21, it's a big get.
Yeah.
Scone Thoroughbreds, Aberdeen Tigers.
Yeah.
Is it Aberdeen Tigers, Pom? Singleton Greyhounds.
Yeah. Were these
Musselbrook Rams.
grasshoppers, right? Okay.
It goes all the way out to Corindi, up to Murrurundi as well. I think that's a huge get, Group 21. Then, of course, expanding further on, because it's been for so long, there's been talk that the Knights should be rural New South Wales' team, but
They
they
should.
never really plucked the eyes out of rural New South Wales. But by getting Group 19 and Group 4
Yeah.
in New England and Western New England specifically, that's a huge get. This, all of a sudden, the Knights catchment is the whole of the state.
But this is also like not a commitment by any.
No,
club.
it's a memorandum of understanding. Yeah. Now, I'm very interested because every few years there's a new buzzword in rugby league. Right?
Yeah.
For a while it was the war chest,
Culture.
the culture, and then for a while it was the centre of excellence. Are we maybe have to brace ourselves for every club signing a memorandum of understanding with
yeah.
certain different groups?
Is it just saying, I understand that this club, the Newcastle Knights, exists?
I think that might be it. Yeah.
And then we both
But what a
understand-
way to state it, though.
We understand that they exist. We shake hands. We
I
make the
understand. I will
Yeah.
remember you.
I will remember you. Maybe
If it
one
comes
of the,
up. If you come up in conversation around the dinner table, I will remember you.
you,
I will
yeah.
acknowledge that I understand you. But of course, they take it a step further, which is good, and talking about setting up regional pathways.
Oh, yeah.
Rugby league is a game built on pathways.
These are a feeling
more
that-
than most sports.
I
think.
thought that these sorts of things were pretty well established.
Apparently not.
That if you were playing in, say, Group 21 out there in Scone Country, or there in the rural area of Fingal Bay, that you would be aware of the Newcastle Knights, and then
Yeah.
you might even think, hey, if
One day.
if I'm quite good at this Group 21 caper, I might one day play professional football
Well, it's
for
a classic
that club over
pathway.
there.
Bombora straight to the Knights, you
Yeah.
know. What a pipeline.
Yeah.
Now, when you played Finger Bay Bombora, that famous one trial match you played
One
in,
trial match, yeah, that's right.
every away game must have been a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, well, that's I got out of it. The trial matches were played at Raymond Terrace, which is still
Of course,
within
yeah.
the
Good facility, Raymond Terrace. Rugby
there at the
league
Magpies.
facility.
Yeah.
Not bad. Near the dam, isn't it?
It is right near the dam,
Right near the dam.
Grahamstown Dam, and
Good dam.
It just looks like a lake.
Great. I always thought it was a lake.
There's a lake, yeah.
And then someone said, oh, the footy field's next to the dam. I was like, the what?
The what?
Huh?
Yeah.
That big patch of water?
Yeah, you can't take motorboats out there. No,
Because of a dam.
because it's a dam.
Yeah.
It's drinkable-
Chichester Dam, I
drinkable
think
water.
you can take boats onto.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
It's up a mount. It's up a mountain somewhere.
Up a mountain,
It's up
right.
a mountain.
That's what.
But
dams
I
should
think,
be.
look, the memorandum of understanding. This is a huge get because, you know, as Joseph John said the other week, and when
rot.
it comes to junior development, there's been the rot. And I think Peter Parr's come in and he said he took what Joey said personally.
Yeah.
Because I did a bit more digging into Peter Parr, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate that he's actually from the area.
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
of this area. Grew up in Stockton. I think he played cricket in Stockton growing up. Played
Yep.
for Souths. Lions growing up, of course. He is a man of the region, and he's made his bloody.
He's well versed with the Stockton Ferry.
I think
of
my
course.
brain just stopped.
That's right.
He's made his mark.
He
that's
understands Newcastle.
It. He
and
does. He gets it.
Newcastle loves more than anything a boy from the town. They love
Recreational drugs.
They love recreational drugs if
And
they're
boys from the town.
if they're taken in the town. They don't like if you're doing them.
No,
in-
you can't do it outside the confines of the town. But
No.
if you're doing recreational drugs in the confines of the town,
It's
that's
fine.
in the spirit of the game.
That is in the spirit.
It's in
of
the
the
spirit
game.
of the game.
So not casting any aspersions of Peter Parr, the CEO of the Newcastle Knights, to say that potentially that he was doing recreational drugs within the confines of the town.
Wouldn't
But
dream of making that aspersion.
But he'd understand. He'd have a memorandum of understanding with people that chose to do
Isn't it
it.
funny with aspersions? You always cast them.
You cast them
I'm
out.
casting my aspersions.
Yeah, it's like fishing line.
Interesting.
Yeah. You never
So anyway, Peter Parr, what a man.
Peter
What
Parr-
a man already.
He hasn't mucked around, much like the other Peter O'Sullivan, not to be confused with Peter Parr, the recruitment and retention officer, I guess, executive potentially there at the club.
So many titles.
Yeah.
Director of football?
No,
Is that Peter
no,
O'Sullivan?
that was Peter Parr.
Yeah.
It's the Bill Paxman Pullman.
It's the Paul Billmans.
It's the Paul Billmans. You don't know which one was
They're all
which.
the same.
They're all in the films.
It's 4 blokes and they're the same guy.
Yeah. And of course, recruitment. When we're talking about recruitment, we have to at least acknowledge Mrs. Brown Butter Chicken.
Mrs. Brown's butter chicken. Mrs. Brown's butter chicken. Mrs. Brown's butter chicken.
It's very important to know that the recruitment for the Newcastle Knights for so long was centred around the wife of Nathan Brown.
Well, that's it.
Cooking butter
It's the
chicken.
curry that signed 1,000 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say
Delicious.
that Helen of Troy was she had the face that launched 1,000 boats.
Yeah.
Mrs. Brown's butter chicken was the meal that launched 1,000 average signings.
Signatures.
It's now come good. It's aged well.
Yeah.
And this was a big one now. It's becoming quite clear that in Peter Parr's 1 week as the CEO of Rugby League, that he is actually a very, very big fan of the show because we were quite effusive in our want to keep Dane Gagai and to extend Dane Gagai. Wouldn't you know it? Mere days after we released an episode saying as much, Peter Parr reached out to Dane Gagai and said, hey, look,
Let's get it done.
if those boys in that small room in Waratah think you're good enough,
Yeah.
then we think you're good enough. And they've extended him for another year.
Sign him up.
They said, you don't want to move your kids, mate.
No. There was.
So that sounded a lot more ominous.
Allegedly.
That was really ominous. Sorry, I meant to say,
Yeah.
The
You don't want to
inconvenience.
move your kids.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
ominous. Yeah, it was my age. You don't want to move your kids.
You don't
They're
wanna
in
move your
school.
kids.
You don't want to
Yeah.
go to a new school. That's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
You don't want to go
that.
over here with your brother Jacob over there, halfway across the world, the entire way across the world. If you go any further, you start coming back the other side. And for a very, very short contract, which is probably going to be his final one.
Yeah.
Unlike 2017, where he left us right as at the pits of the bottom.
Rightly so, I reckon.
Well, he wanted to play better football.
Yeah.
And
he did.
And he did. He managed to play in a grand final. They didn't win it. Did not win it.
But he still made it.
But still played
But
it.
I did a bit of a deep dive because, one of the things with Dane Gagai has been his durability. We talked about it last week, his durability.
Yeah.
Now, I used the Rugby League Project. Great website if you like rugby league.
Fantastic.
In the last 12 Christian years,
Yep.
there's only been 2 seasons where Dane Gagai has played less than 20 club games. Both of those seasons, he played 19 games.
Yep.
And between 2012 and 2021 or 22, also played all 3 Origin games every year. Like, it's really unbelievable that at 34, he's still playing so much footy. Like, look at the numbers on that Wikipedia page right there.
Yeah.
That's more rugby league than any one man should play in their life.
He's over that 300 game mark and extending his contract and still now playing fullback, which is a position that he hasn't played in a long time.
And making a good fist
and
of it.
making a good fist. I think that's what he's doing.
What does that saying mean?
Oh, he hasn't thrown a punch, but he's making the fist.
Making the fist.
It's threatening.
But it's what you do with the fist, Naggy.
right, yeah.
It's what you do with it.
He's back already playing, like, since it's just 2022 with the Newcastle Knights, chalking up another 83 games with the Knights. And it seems like he's just going to continue on.
And long may he reign over this town, Dane Gagai. It would be wrong to see him finish his career in any other jersey.
Yeah.
They must have met in the middle. We were talking last week about $100,000. Can be a lot of money, can be not much money.
300,
Guess they decided,
400.
yeah, sure, why not?
350 maybe.
350.
They said, yeah.
Meet in
they
the middle.
Shook
There you
hands.
go. Lot of money.
And a free lunch.
Yeah.
Looking at the also, just as a quick note, Bradman Best, who's 10 years Gagai's junior. Like you said that Gagai mostly plays over 20 games a season. That's really what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
You want to be playing for that 80+% of games available. Bradman has only played one time in that over 20 games in his 6 seasons for the Knights.
That's not many.
No, often out. Often injured.
And you got to think as well, like, all the years that Dane Gagai has been at the Knights, they've been shit. So just think, if he'd been at another club, he'd probably be playing another 2-3 games every year in the final series.
That's right, yeah.
It's quite something. The man's
Early holiday,
remarkable.
yeah.
I say great re-signing. Peter Parr, big fan of the show, obviously. Thank you, Peter,
Thank you,
for
Peter.
listening to the fans, the people who make this region great. Us.
Understanding. an understanding.
But a memorandum of understanding. Yeah.
Speaking of people returning back to the club as well as re-signing with the club, we have the Soul Man.
Pastrami Solo.
Pastrami Solo.
Now, let's talk a bit about Pastrami Solo's career at the Knights. I don't really remember much because I remember he was very young coming through and,
He was.
the Safidis were coming and developing ahead of him and 27 games.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that many.
Yeah, he did a bad ankle. Yeah. And he was one of those ones that was sort of bumping.
He was highly touted.
Yeah,
He was
look,
very highly
he's,
touted.
He's big, he's athletic. He's in that sort of modern day front rower. And he was given a pretty good run in Canberra until recently
Well, that's it. That forward pack in Canberra, like, you're not getting a starting spot.
Yeah.
As Pasami Solo ahead of one of the best forward packs in the rugby league.
Yes, yeah, and we did lose him in like the early days, and then he's aged in. Like, you think you get the best out of your prop between that like sort of 26 and 30. That's sort of when
That's it. Props develop late.
Yeah, and I think he's 27.
Like Shane Webke didn't peak until he was about 47.
But he retired when he was 31.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Shane Webke retired
He
when he was...
looked 100.
He did look 100. Yeah. 31.
He was born 40.
Yeah, he was born 40, yeah. In a big square barrel of a man, Shane Webke. But yeah, pastrami Solo.
Because we're definitely light on for props, obviously. Leo Thompson leaving, potentially Jack Hetherington leaving. Gord, do we ever need props?
It does seem like we are picking a lot from reserve grade. The New South Wales Cup, we're starting to look at the reserve grade records. And
But only other people's reserve grades.
Yeah, other people's reserve grades, not our own. And so, having a guy that's coming home, much like the Liam Crouch, I think, signing of a couple of weeks ago, who's already playing reserve grade from the Sharks.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, good for him. Forgot about that.
It was like there's a little bit feeling of this 2012.
Bring the boys home.
Bring the boys home.
Bring the boys back.
Yeah, from reserve grade.
Peter
so
Parr's amazing.
It doesn't seem
Love
like
him.
it seems like that's going to be a common theme there of you're from here, that's good enough for us.
Love it. Fantastic.
Looking out of those middle forwards like the Hetheringtons, the Elliots, as well as Thompson, as you mentioned before.
Not from here.
Not from here.
He's not from around here, that's
Jack
for sure.
Hetherington, I think, somewhat
Yeah,
from
he grew up
here,
in Belmont. Played juniors for Valentine Ellibana Devils because his dad, his uncle Brett Mullins and I think his dad, whichever Hetherington is, owned the Gunya for a while. And that was back when the Gunya was the Gunya.
The Gunya.
So I remember when Jack Hetherington was coming into first grade, the biggest thing people would say about him was like, is he a good footy player? Like, he can fight.
Yeah.
He can
That's
fight.
right. At the time, that's sort of what we needed. We got two more signings here released by the Mole.
I think there's
the
about
NRL
6
Mole.
or 7 more that we're going to address here tonight.
The NRL Mole must be about, well, he said 30 years plus. How old is this man? Well, he must be
Older than 30.
He must be getting on.
He's definitely older than 30, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I love the Mole's strategy of just putting out 4 billion tweets and every
once in a
4
while
billion
he's
and
right.
one, he gets it right.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is maybe some more unheralded signing news. We've gone ahead and signed one. There you go. The Eastern Mole has a life cycle of 6 years.
So he's 5 times already. 5 times older than the average mole. That's
Well
how
done.
good the NRL mole is.
Speak about durability and longevity. The bloody Mole in the NRL. Does he work for the
No one
the
knows.
papers?
No one knows who he is.
He works for Wide World of Sports.
Yeah, why was
Okay.
sports? But he also
Gotcha.
moles are blind, so there you go. We've got a couple more signings here. Again, one largely touted on potential. Obviously with the Dylan Brown one, but Matthew Hunter, someone that's played only sort of about that around that 10 game mark for Parramatta. We've gone to Parramatta. We said, "Oh, hello."
We'll have all your halves, please and thank you.
Yeah, delicious.
Except they didn't touch the best one. Let's leave him alone. We'll get
Yeah.
all the other
all
ones.
the other ones. Won't
But
touch Moses. No.
The one thing that sort of makes me happy about this is I've seen a few Para fans like, oh, hey, we shouldn't have lost him.
shouldn't have lost
Should
him.
have kept him. He plays half 5/8, but also it was sort of intimated that he can also play a bit of fullback.
Okay.
It wasn't intimated. Someone actually said it.
He could
He's a
actually
halfback
say
and a
it,
5/8, but he can also play fullback.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause that's something the Knights need is more fullbacks and more halves, of
well,
course.
that's right.
But yeah, no, I think the fact that some Para fans were a bit of, oh, maybe we shouldn't have let him go, I think that's a good thing.
That's what you want.
And then, of course, we've got a bit of a nemesis returning, Asa Kepaoa. Now, those Knights fans who have longer memories than I do will remember that famous game where Kalen Ponga was concussed 90 seconds in against the Tigers.
Oh, yes.
It was a brave win, 14-12. Dom Young got 10 in the bin.
Yeah. Round 2.
Jacob Safidi got sent off with 15 to go.
Oh, that
There
one,
was
yeah.
no one on the bench because everyone got injured.
They held on.
They held on. But yeah, I wonder if there'll be, a bit of a kiss from Asu Kepaoa on Kalen to say, I'm sorry, Kalen.
Yeah, hopefully.
I almost killed you and ruined your career, but I love you now and we're best friends.
Because he played, it says here, 43 games for NRL, mostly with the Tigers.
Yeah, I think between 2020 and 2024,
And then he's
played
got-
43, went to Penrith. I think he had a red-hot start for Penrith in reserve grade maybe last year, sort of faded away a bit.
Yeah.
But he's another one who's very a versatile edge player. So he can play
Okay.
second row, he can play center, he can play wing.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be a bit of a depth guy. You
Okay,
know?
yeah, that
when
is-
Bradman Best inevitably gets injured 20 times a year, he's going to get a lot of game time.
There we have something.
Get a lot of game time.
Now, one of the big questions around rugby league, Liam,
The
is
large throbbing questions of rugby league.
is how we manage what we have in front of us, which is so many Polynesian players. This is really what the crux of it all.
It's a
comes down
crux.
to.
It's a good crux.
How do you rise up the Polynesian game of Samoa and Tonga, New Zealand and the likes, and then
While
also
also making England worse.
make England worse, and then also say, but the highlight of the season is in the New South Wales v Queensland.
That's it. State of Origin is the monolith of rugby league.
Yeah.
It's
And
the
this-
big thing in 2001: A Space Odyssey. That big. It's a book or something.
How have they managed this
That's another
eligibility?
movie that I also haven't seen.
This eligibility possible crisis that's sort of upon us. It's gone down to the two Andrew Abdo as well as Volandis.
See their ivory tower. They don't see things the way that we see things from up there, looking down with their eyeglasses.
I think they just
with
gotta-
their caviar
Yeah.
and their Perrier champagne.
Can you walk us through what they're trying to do with this?
Well, there's all the talks now that they want to reduce the impact on New Zealand and England's talent pools.
Yeah.
And so basically at the moment, the way it works is the Tier 1 nations, Australia, New Zealand, England.
England,
If
yeah.
you play for Tier 1 nations, you don't play State of Origin. Great. I think
Unless
that's
you play
very
for
good.
Australia,
Unless
yeah.
you play for Australia, of course. But then there's talks about, and I remember a few years ago, people saying, Jason Taumalolo, he plays for the Kiwis. He should play Origin.
Sonny Bill Williams.
No, Sonny
Yeah.
Bill Williams, he should play Origin. Just... If you're going to do that, just say, all right, we're going to kill State of Origin. Let's just make an all-stars game.
Yeah.
Don't make it an all-encompassing everyone can play because that defeats the whole purpose of it. The purpose of
not
it
the
is...
origin.
It's the
Yeah.
origin. The purpose of it is the fiery passion within you
Yeah,
to
yeah.
destroy your neighbour 3 times a year.
That's right.
And then just kind of be okay with them the rest of the year.
rest of the time, yeah.
So, I don't know. Then I remember the first time the Origin eligibility rules blew my mind as a kid was when Adrian Lamb, who had played for Papua New Guinea,
Yeah.
played for Queensland the
Queensland,
very
of
next
course.
year. Which, given the eligibility rules now, that would be fine. But at the time, I was fuming.
yeah.
Fuming.
There's a lot of these players like Payne Haas is talking about playing for Denmark.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think his dad's got Danish blood.
yeah. No, it's like playing for Samoa as well as possibly Tino as well. And
Well, because I think I'm fine with players being able to play for Tier 2 nations and State of Origin because I think that's fantastic for the game, especially given because the other thing and. It's all the the people on Facebook whose profile pictures are a V8 Maloo Ute
Yes.
or a jet ski. You don't see
Sunglasses.
their faces.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't see their faces. They're saying, "Well, why doesn't the Samoan team have players from Samoa?"
Yeah.
It's like because they don't have the infrastructure or the grassroots in the islands.
That's right.
To field a team that would be competitive. So this is a great way to spread the game is by having your stars being able to represent their heritage. And it comes again from people who are, 7th generation Australian who don't understand that you can love two things.
Yes.
They're like, no, you're either Samoan or from New South Wales. Like,
Yeah.
you can have two different heritage and also think both of them are sick.
Yeah.
Unless you're English. Fuck off. I don't want any English people in the
Yeah.
State of
No,
Origin.
no, no.
But and Billy,
Let's not get crazy.
yeah, that's it. The less poms, the better.
That's right.
Kiwis, keep them out still, I reckon. But Billy says the landscape has changed. And there was one moment, he says, that swayed Billy over. He said the landscape in the game has changed. And with change, you need to discuss things.
Yep.
And can you just duck back? Sorry, Sam. What's best for the game? What makes it good is the passion behind it. This is a great line. He said,
Yeah.
I don't remember picking Queensland. It picked me.
Ah.
And he saw scenes of Tino.
So profound.
Before the game. Tino during the anthem, weeping like
Yeah.
a small girl. And it was beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen as a man
Yeah.
before a footy game, singing the anthem and just losing his shit.
Yeah.
Losing his shit.
Hmm.
So I think I'm pretty happy with where the eligibility rules are
At the moment.
because there's a memorandum of understanding
Of course,
around
yes.
the eligibility rules that have been
think
in
so.
place for a while now.
Yeah.
And I think where it is now is great.
Yeah.
Given how well the Tier 2 nations are going and the way they're developing, I think in a few years it'd be good to readdress. But I think for now, keep it the way it is.
Keep it is.
It's striking that balance well between, yes, it is also the state of origin where you're from, but you are a man made of multitudes.
Yes.
All men are made of multitudes, and women, of
And
course.
women, of course.
So I think where the eligibility rules are at the moment strikes a really good balance. So I say keep it how it is.
Yeah.
But they're in the ivory tower. They don't like.
They don't understand.
They don't like the status quo.
They want the money.
They want the money.
They want
It's
all the
all
players
about
playing, and
the
they
money.
don't care what the kind of traditions they burn on the way there to the money.
As long as you're not burning dollar bills.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, keep it the way it is.
Could you think maybe a New South Wales team playing an international side, New South Wales playing England?
Well, that's the way they used to do it on tour matches. You
Yeah,
know, when
yeah.
they come for a tour. They still do it. The Lions tour is a great example. The Lions play about 15 games on the tour.
Yeah.
Where in the lead up, they played the Western Force, they played the Waratahs, they played the Reds. They formed a combined team of... they called it the FNP team. It was Australian, First Nations and Polynesian players. They had a combined team there. I remember when the Lions toured in 2013, they played a combined New South Wales country and Queensland country team.
I wouldn't mind seeing this. England comes down for the Ashes, right? And say it's a 7-game series.
Yeah.
But but really they play Queensland.
Yeah.
And then they have a couple of games, and then they come down to Sydney and play New South Wales.
Well, that's the way the tours used to work.
That's
you see.
what- that's
but
what
it's
I'd
all
like to
about
see.
load management now.
Yeah.
But the Lions tour is a great example in rugby union. They must have played 8 or 9 games on the tour.
play New South Wales country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was one of the really, really cool things on the Lions tour in 2013 was that I got to watch 2 guys that I was playing club footy with at the time.
Play the...
I got to watch Louis Catt mark up against Brian O'Driscoll, the greatest
Yeah.
outside centre of our time.
Yeah.
And he was a guy playing for Wanderers at the time. It's
And
like,
it was
he got
famously
to play
Wanderer-
against Brian O'Driscoll.
Who am I thinking? Drew...
Dylan Evans?
Dylan Evans. I don't know. I thought
He
Drew,
played in the
yeah.
same game. He got to pack
Yeah.
down against the finest front rowers in the Northern Hemisphere.
That's what I wanna
It's
see.
such a great experience.
Yeah. Give that back to
More
the people.
footy.
I
Give
think
more
so.
footy to the people. That's what we want.
Speaking of more football, Liam.
Less of this football.
Yeah, we got this coming in to poach away from the rugby league stocks, which is already going to be stretched with the new teams.
They're going to be throwing
like Perth
memorandums of understanding out like crazy.
Bears. This is the Rugby 360, which is
so
sort
no,
of
yeah, rugby 360.
which is
yeah.
sort of like live golf, if you will.
Yeah.
It's how to come in and basically strong arm the existing
sports washing away the crimes of a terrible regime.
And we
Naggy.
think
Huh?
we think that it's the money with the ivory tower of the people from the game existing.
That-
But this
like-
is brand new money over the oil money.
This isn't an ivory tower. It's a tower constructed of 24-karat gold and
yeah.
oil.
Yeah.
And I think
Luring
it's
people
stupid.
over. And they've got their crosshairs on Ryan Pappenhausen.
Well, remember last week they had their crosshairs on Kalen Ponga.
Kalen Ponga,
And then they
of
had the
course.
crosshairs on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Yes.
Now they've got the crosshairs on Ryan Pappenhausen.
They might take them
Next
all.
week they'll have the crosshairs on another fullback who was a bit of a legend of the game. Second grade legend Liam McNeil.
Liam.
R360, they're coming for me.
They're coming for
But
you.
I just don't know how this will work because rugby's league and union are so tied in with, you know, your club.
Yes.
Where other sports in the world, it's all about franchises. They don't so much have clubs or teams. They have franchises. But rugby's both league and union still rely heavily on people being dedicated to a club.
Yes.
I think if you try and set up a big money, high rolling set of franchises that have no particular geographical relation, who's going to watch it? Who's going to follow this? It'll just be a bunch of really highly paid guys,
Yep.
probably playing some pretty sick rugby.
Yes.
But no one will give a shit.
Is this the death
No one will
knells of
care.
rugby union, do you think? Is this...
Oh, no. The rugby union's had so many death knells in Australia over the last 20 years. Like, if it hasn't died by now, it never will. It's even having a bit of a resurgence right now.
Yeah, of course.
But I
with the-
think the Rugby 360 thing, and, you know, it does have some important people behind it. Mike Tyndall was a England and British Lions legend.
Is he the Greg Norman of the rugby union? Is
he
he
might be.
coming out and saying, this is good for the game, everyone?
Well,
The
I
money,
didn't know
the
Greg
money,
Norman
you see.
did that,
Well, he did
so-
that for Live Golf. He was
Yeah.
the one that
But
said...
see, live golf's fine because
Yeah.
you're following individual players.
Yes.
You're not like, you haven't got a big group of people.
Yeah,
like,
but no
I'm
one
a-
watches that shit.
was
either.
the-
To
yeah.
your point from
Yeah.
your previous point.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no one
exactly.
no one watches that shit.
No
The
one cares.
tribal nature of both codes of rugby will not transwell to Rugby 360.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Is that like obviously you got like someone like New Zealand, which is like you want to play for the All Blacks,
Yep.
but then you have this sort of swell of talent trying to make this one team. But then if there's like a second tier that they say, wait, you're a
'Cause
bit,
that's the
you're
other
a bit of a name. Why don't you come and play for this new?
Because that's the other
Pirates?
thing as well. There is no way that World Rugby will allow any Rugby 360 players to play
Yes.
for the national teams.
Yeah.
And a lot of rugby league fans don't understand just how big rugby is around the world. Like it is as close to a global sport as you can be while not having a soccer ball.
Yes.
And so if you all of a sudden have World Rugby saying no Rugby 360 players can play for their nation, no one's going to do it.
You think that'll be?
They will then eventually
tearing
call
point?
me.
Yeah, that's how far they'll go down the list.
They'll go that far down.
Just
They're
four people
You could
down.
have played for
Yeah.
Canada, but you didn't. Let's
Yeah.
get your Rugby 360.
Could have played for Canada.
So I think it's a terrible idea. I don't think it'll work.
Yep.
I think there'll be a couple of players get some really, really big money out of it. But yeah, I can't see it lasting.
Super League 2.0.
Yeah,
It's
because
got-
they did it. Obviously, they do the soccer as well over there. The
Do they?
Saudi soccer league's massive, apparently.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No one
Cristiano
watches it.
Ronaldo, you'd know that name.
Did they?
That fella, yeah. What about him? Yeah. He's on like $4 billion a season.
Wow.
I checked the average crowds in that particular league.
No one's watching.
They're actually not bad.
Bad, no.
They
Where do
compare
play? Do
closely.
They still play in like all
Saudi
the European.
Arabia.
Oh, they play
Yeah.
in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, well, they actually like that sport over there.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
right.
that
They're
makes
just
sense.
kind of buying and washing.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think this R360, Rugby 360, whatever they want to call it, I don't think it'll work.
Don't work.
I think some players will make bank out of it. It'll be dead within a year and a half. It was like a couple of years ago, the CEO of the Western Force, when they got kicked out of the Super Rugby, he did the same thing. He's like, I'm forming my own company.
Twinkie Forest.
So it's
Twinkie Forest. Yeah, he sort of global rapid rugby.
Twinkie, yeah.
Twinkie. Yeah. He's a bit pudgy. Could be Twinkie.
That was his midnight alter ego at
Yeah,
the seedier clubs around town. Twinkie Forest.
Call me Twinkie.
But yeah, he did the same. He was like, all right, the Force aren't in Super Rugby. I'm going to make my own global rapid rugby. And have any of you guys ever heard of global rapid rugby?
No, we haven't spoken
Exactly.
about it. Yeah,
exactly. So I think Rugby 360 will go the exact same way.
Hopefully, the decorum of rugby union will hold fast.
It is a game of decorum,
Yes,
Maggie.
yeah.
A game of tradition.
leather shoes,
Leather shoes, leather balls,
cardigans,
leather
whatnot.
everything.
They can't everything leather bound, everything leather pants.
I love them. Yeah.
Hopefully, they
Goalposts made entirely of leather.
They flop around in the wind. We're going to take a halftime break and we're talking everything Newcastle Knights, both games upcoming as well as games being had against the Canberra Raiders. But to play us out,
And the state of the league union,
and the state
of
of the
course.
league union, of course. But to play us out, of course, is our musical guest, Mr. Guitar Woods.
Sign me right now, baby, right now. Rugby Union Raby, right now, now. You sign me right now, baby, right now to the rugby ball. I want your money. I want your all money. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye.
Who are the Knights playing this weekend,
I
Naggy?
think we might have the bye.
Of course.
that's right.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, Mr. Woods, very much. Good Woods. Yeah, we do have the bye this week, Liam, and this is sort of something I think to be cherished because after so many rounds,
The Knights play their best footy when we got the bye.
yeah. 2 points just as a gift for nothing. We didn't have to do anything for them.
Remember, it was the bye that famously got us off the bottom.
off the bottom.
Off the bottom.
That's right. And we're very close to the bottom again.
And of course, we've got the bye tradition of Bradman Best building infrastructure in Bali.
Yes,
He's
sir.
already got the hospital. He built the shopping centre last year. Post office, I
Post
think, this
office,
year?
I think, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
keep an eye out for the hottest new post office in Bali. Bradman's going to go over there.
That's right. That's right. He has to go over every time there's a buy. Every time.
Well,
he-
he's a giving man.
Yeah, very.
He gives infrastructure to people who have none.
That's right.
What's he building over there?
What's he doing? What is he doing over there? Can we get an inquiry?
He has a memorandum of understanding
He has
with
a
the
memorandum.
Balinese
That's
government.
right. It's on a
Whenever they
contract.
need a new building, they just call Bradman.
That's right. You can put him up. You can put him up very quickly over there. There's no red tape.
Well, he is a building himself.
That's right.
He's a small apartment block.
Small struts, unfortunately. Like the ankle struts are pretty poor.
That's right. Terrible. That's why he
Terrible.
wears himself out over there.
Yeah.
Does every hamstring.
Well, that's it. He's a man playing rugby league football, but also a prominent, prolific builder. That's tough.
Speaking of Liam, he was out this week against the Canberra Raiders. We went down there to the nation's capital. Of course, they hit Questacon. Didn't have time for the Australian.
Well, no, I heard
War
that Bradman
Memorial.
Best is still walking around the War Memorial. Oh, my God.
It's huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. It's huge down
He's
there.
caught somewhere between Korea and Vietnam. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
They left him there.
Yeah.
He missed the bus.
He went down the slide and we had to hold the bar for so long and then let it go. And he's just still holding on.
I've never been to Questacon.
You've never been to
No,
Questacon?
I only went to Canberra once, and it was for a footy trip. And
Didn't
all
you
we
go
did
for
was
year-
buy fireworks and play footy, and it was the coldest place in the earth.
I thought it was like a year 7 trip in the curriculum.
Mm,
Year 6 maybe, yeah.
Oh, mate, year 6 in Sawtell, you're going to bloody Lake Ainsworth. You're not going to Canberra. We're not all rich and can afford a bloody bus all the way down to Canberra. Notably, famously, the Knights took a bus and a plane.
That's right. We weren't sure whether last week we said, are they going to charter a plane or they're going to take a bus?
Did
But
both.
we saw a photo of a bus on an airstrip. So we're still not really sure.
And the plane only held 4 people.
That's right.
Like, who gets to go on the plane and who gets to go on the bus?
It's just the coaches, Mark Tukey,
Yeah.
and then...
No, we fired Tukes, remember?
Tukey's
They let him
gone.
go.
They let him go. They listened to our advice.
About time.
Strangest flogging that I think I've ever witnessed.
It wasn't odd flogging. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like a flogging.
No. It was a
I
very...
didn't even realise how much of a flogging it was until Buttons man Sam put that list up, and I said, "Oh my God, they scored 7 tries!
7 tries, 7 converted
That's so
tries.
many.
Yeah, and a penalty goal.
That's heaps.
Just for good measure.
That is a flogging."
Our biggest, I think it's their biggest scoreline that we've copped this season.
But again, it didn't feel like it.
No,
It was a spirited flogging, I think.
This reminded me of...
It was like the Finns in the Winter War.
yeah, well, this...
They got flogged, but it didn't feel like
didn't
it.
feel like
No.
it. For me, this
Mannerheim's conundrum.
game reminded me a little bit of The Sound of Music.
Now, Naggy, how did this game remind you a little bit of The Sound of Music?
Growing up, Liam, The Sound of Music...
Great
was,
movie,
was
by the
on
way.
television often, and it was one that you get the family around. Oh, The Sound of Music.
My dad's favourite movie.
Yeah, one of your dad's favourite movies.
No, his favourite movie.
One
not
of your
one of
your
his favourite
father's
movie. One of my father's favourite movies.
One of your father's favourite movies. And
That's the importance of punctuation, which we will circle back
circle
on,
back
Joust.
to,
The
of
importance
course.
of punctuation
We
in
need to fix
in a society.
but the Von Trapps there of The Sound of Music. Now, when I watched,
That's too many kids.
that's too many.
Don't have that many kids.
No,
It's easy. Don't have that many kids and you won't get invaded by the Nazis.
When I was watching, well, this is very, very point, Liam. When I was watching this film as a child with the ad breaks, Liam, this movie goes for about 4 hours.
It's a very long movie.
And because I was young, I would just, end up nodding off somewhere between the time of about 8 to 10 p.m. I don't know. I would not. But I thought it was
That's
just...
like half the movie. That's a
Well,
long time.
I thought the story was just Julie Andrews meeting Christopher Plummer and all of his children and leaving
They're happy. Everything's great.
leaving the nunnery, getting married. They get married. I'm going to bed. I think what a wonderful first
Tied
half
up with a
of that film.
neat bow. What a wholesome tale of a found family, perhaps.
I had no idea there was Nazis in the film.
Heaps of them.
I thought I was already asleep. Now, that was sort of like the Knights game for me. I had no idea. The first half was wonderful. It was magical. I was thinking, this is great. 18 all. I had no idea that eventually we'll be fleeing the Nazis. Not
That's it.
saying that...
We were singing, we're going, these are a few of my favourite things. When
Yeah.
the dog bites, when the bee stings, when the Knights are tied with Canberra at half time.
Meanwhile,
These
yeah.
are a few of my favourite things.
16 going on, whatever. I had no idea that the second half was going to be so gripping and horrific that they got the Von Trapp family
Also,
fleeing over the mountains.
Given our modern sensibilities in society, that song where I am 16 going on 17, and that bloke's just like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like 21.
I'm 33.
Yeah.
Different
Like,
time.
I am 16 going on 17. He goes like, well, I'm not waiting.
No, yeah,
I'm not waiting.
Yeah.
Clock's
And-
ticking.
And again, Nazi in the end, and he turned out to be one of them.
One of the bad ones.
So, just the feel of the movie, I didn't realise that it all went so bad in the second half because I thought the wedding was the end. I thought half time we did so well, it felt so great. 18 all against 15th coming up against first, 15th going on maybe 14th.
That's it. I clapped my hands. I had a strudel and I went to bed.
And
You are 15 going on first place.
And when Xavier Savage went over to, well, it's going to be looking like in the 37th minute, it was going to be looking like it was going to be 12-18. You think, try before half time. But then Fletcher Hunt out of nowhere.
What a man.
Yeah.
What a man. A product of the great memorandum of understanding of the western regions.
That's right.
From Warren. Warren's probably in one of the groups that we signed a
One of the
memorandum
groups.
of understanding
That's
with.
right, yeah.
I wish that's under memorandum of understanding with the Raiders.
Yeah. Just to say, hey, lay off a bit. You're going to win the game.
Ease up.
We haven't really copped a flogging like this season. Maybe just ease up a bit.
But that's been a bit of a hallmark of the Raiders this year is they finish so strong.
Yes.
It's funny, though, because the Bulldogs game, it was quite the opposite. When they lost against the Bulldogs, they dominated the first half and then got smashed in the second half. But so much of what the Raiders have been doing is like, we're staying it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, see you later, we're going to smash you.
This year is also with the Newcastle Knights. It seems like it was we wouldn't score in the first half for so many 8 or 9 games, something ridiculous. Now we're scoring our points all in the first half. In the second half, no more. Yeah, so it's done a bit of a flip. Obviously, the game against Manly was that. We were down by 16 points, 16-0, I think, and then we win that game.
Again, it's the lack of knowledge that games go for 80 minutes.
Yeah,
we've been trying to tell AOB for years and years, but he won't listen. He's like, oh, yeah, we got 40 minutes of good footy. You need twice that amount.
Twice, yeah.
That's not enough. He's
2
like,
times.
No, that'll be fine.
It'll be all right.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
But I think if we look back at the statistics right quick for the team statistics, now famously the Knights completed at 66%. You might not be able to see that number on the screen for those watching the visual medium because it has a smear of shit on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was not good.
Yeah, 66% as well as 14 errors, of course, with the 80% and the less than 10 errors.
Because usually, it's the 10 and the 80. The 80,
usually, we're usually in the game, but I'd like to know what it was like after the first half because it seemed like we were playing a lot better. But in the end, penalties conceded. Penalties conceded. That means that we
only got 2 penalties.
We only get given
to the
Knights.
No, penalties conceded.
Other way around?
Yeah.
Is that
penalties
negative play? It's negative play.
Negative play.
So we actually got a bunch of penalties, so we still couldn't do anything with them.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at
3
all.
on reports to the Canberra Raiders.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
We didn't seem like we got much of anything in the second half.
And yet more great work from the NRL digital team. They've taken a team that plays in red and blue and it used blue to illustrate that. And then they've taken a team who plays almost exclusively in lime green and used blue to represent that team.
Yeah,
Wonderful work by the NRL in their ivory towers.
Yeah.
They don't see the colours on the jersey.
Yeah.
They see something, I don't know.
They just got...
That sentence didn't have an end point.
They're picking and sticking, Liam. It was tough. It was tough to find... players over the course of the 80 minutes that really shone, which is rather than shined.
Shine, shone, shown.
Yeah. That's all
Sheen, all them.
But we have to highlight a few players that we think did a particularly good job in a segment we like to call Hats Off.
Hats off. Hats off. Hats off. Hats off.
Thank you, Mr. Gewoods. Liam, your hat's off for this week.
Every week it amazes me what your hair's going to do when I take your hat off. That's what I look forward to that all through the week. So when Nagy's hat comes off, what's it going to look like?
Yeah, it's going to be on the
great as usual.
It's going to be on the floor. Yeah.
You always say that, but your hair gets thicker and more beautiful every year,
does,
Nagy. It does. I'm going to go with my hats off. A good knock from a veteran, Tyson Frizzell, coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Had a ripper of a game. I think about 150 run meters, 60 or so post-contact meters, 25 tackles, no misses coming off the bench. I thought he really brought some spark and some energy, footwork through the middle of the field. I was very impressed with the performance, a return to form of Tyson Frizzell.
And we've needed that kind of balance. Obviously, Tyson's gone into the front row a lot of this season to start the games. We've had Brodie Jones and Matt Croker, these kind of players that aren't really front rowers in the traditional sense because they just don't usually play front row.
Yeah. It's about the most traditional sense there is.
Yeah. So using him off the bench, I think was a decent balance, and I think we saw that in the second half of the first half, the important one where we scored 18 points. Not in the second half where everything went to tits, but I did think he was a particular standout in the middle. He looked like maybe coming up against some more tired middles. A crafty old veteran is what we wanted to see.
Love a crafty old veteran.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of a crafty old veteran?
Young,
a sparky young firebrand, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that's who your hat's off's going to this week, a sparkling young firebrand.
He got it last week for me as well, and I just like the cut of his jib. And this is Fletcher,
I think we're just
going to...
This is going to get bloody Kalen Ponga levels of we're just giving our hats off every week to Fletcher Hunt because he's sick.
He's going to make
mistakes. And we both got his name right like 4 times in a row there.
Yeah.
So I think, you know what? Fuck all the Knights players. Hats off to us because we finally got Fletcher Hunt's name right many times in a row.
Thank you very much. Fletcher Hunt. There were the.
It does sound a bit rude, doesn't it?
There with the intercept there at halftime is the kind of like game breaks that I think everyone wants out of a player. Like obviously he's done it with the competing for the ball and for the Manly win. He just seems to. He's not the biggest. He's not the strongest. He's not the
He's
fastest.
a skinny fella.
Skinny
If
fella.
he's going to want to play in the centres,
Yeah.
give him a memorandum of understanding.
with the other centre.
Get him in the centre of excellence.
Yeah.
Open up the war chest.
Yeah.
And let's build the boy up.
Let's build the culture of Fletcher Hunt.
Performance-enhancing drugs are not in the spirit of the game.
No.
But he is very skinny.
He is very skinny. He's a mid boy, but he is showing himself to be very, very comfortable in first grade, and it's very easy, I think, to go into your shell, like being very good in New South Wales Cup.
Especially as we discussed when he first came into the Newcastle Knights first grade rugby league team,
Yeah.
he was thrown into an absolute shitstorm. It was
Yes.
a team that was at its lowest ebb. No one wanted to play. He came in and he was marking up against Zach Lomax, trying to prove a point to play Origin. He had Mitch Moses kicking to Zach Lomax.
Yeah.
He could have really had one of those careers where he comes in, gets absolutely towed up, and we never see him
Never
again.
see him again, yeah.
But every game since then, he has busted his bottom.
He seems to be
He's
growing.
absolutely been busting his bottom, and
Growing
I
in
love
confidence, growing in
Yeah.
ability, and
it. Now we just need to grow him in girth.
yes, now we just need to grow him.
Just grow, yeah.
Put some
Just in
fertilizer around
general.
his feet,
Yeah.
and just hope in the off season plant him, give him some strength.
Well, that's it. There's that fertilizer factory just below the bridge.
Yep.
Over there, over the mighty Hunter River, the bridge that goes to Stockton.
Is that the angle
The
one?
dynamic lifter.
The Angle Factory? No, that's not the one that it looks like you can run up.
Yeah, no, that's a different one.
That's on the
It's
other
next
side.
to it,
Yeah,
it's next to it.
yeah.
That's why my grandfather, for the longest time, he refused to live in Mayfield because the fertilizer plant was really close, and he was like, if that thing blows up, the whole town's going with it.
Yeah, could have.
So he lived out. He was just like, I just won't live in town.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
man
fair.
knew what he wanted.
That's what
which
happened.
was to not die in an explosion.
Yeah. Well,
I think most people want that, though.
I think hopefully, yeah, it's on most people's bucket list not
Yeah.
to die in a chemical fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what a
Yeah.
stinky explosion it would be
Yeah.
too. Imagine a fertilizer plant exploding.
Absolutely.
God,
Dutch
terrible.
oven. When we take our hats off, Liam, we must return them to our head for our hats back on.
There you put your hat on.
Hats back on, Liam, is more of a conceptual one once again.
Oh,
And
the
we-
rugby league dropout when it comes to the Newcastle Knights. I have no idea why the Newcastle Knights persist with the short dropout. It has worked exactly once, and I know that because when it worked once, I said, holy fuck, it worked one
yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and it hasn't worked since. They did it again. They did do it this game, right?
They kicked out
and
the
it went out
full.
on the full.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're thinking, trying it every time there's a dropout. It beggars belief. You know what the definition of stupidity is, Naggy?
Oh,
Being a Newcastle Knights player and trying a short dropout.
Trying a
That's
short
the
dropout,
definition
that's
of
the definition.
stupidity.
It-
They keep trying it, and it's getting so frustrating.
and not even on the when you're delivering the short dropout or the drop kick from the in goal.
Yeah.
But when you're receiving it, we did the scoreline wouldn't reflect this, but there was moments there we were putting pressure on. We got what would be traditionally a repeat set by the goal line dropout from Canberra Raiders, and we were just too far up, expecting maybe
Well, to be fair,
and Quadzilla Jamal Fogarty booted one that went
they went 80 metres on the bounce.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think any rugby league team would be set up for a kick that's gone 80 metres on the bounce. It was a belt.
a big boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
big boy. Reminded me of, there was a great South African Springbok rugby union player by the name of Franz Stein. And I once saw him in the French top 14. He was playing for Racing 92. He kicked
Doesn't sound like a place, but okay.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
Racing 92.
Racing, yeah, okay, yeah.
There was a kick for touch, and he caught the ball 60 metres out, right near the sideline. He kicked a drop goal from 60 metres out, right by the sideline. It went into the third row of the grandstand. It was
Wow.
the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
booted- that's the
Anyone
Gilbert,
who
of
doesn't
course,
like
yeah.
a drop goal is not a purist of the game.
No, it's exciting. isn't
People
it? Yeah.
say, "Oh, I don't like Golden Point because it just becomes a drop goal shootout."
I sorta like
That's
that, yeah.
sick. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's really good. So anyway, hats back on. Stop kicking the ball short, you pack of morons.
Stop, yeah.
Just boot the shit out of it.
boot it.
Kick the skin off the bludger.
Fogarty it.
To quote
That's
Red
what they call
Reagan.
it, yeah.
Yeah, just Fogarty it. Yeah.
Just Fogarty it.
Just Fogarty it right up.
Kick it into the stands.
Yeah.
What was the guy name? Franz what?
Friend Stain.
Stain.
Yeah.
Stain it.
Yeah, no.
Put a stain on it.
Pick between 1 and 6 South African last names, and you're probably
There's like 6. You're right. There's 6 surnames,
Yeah.
and half of the country's just named Faf.
Dan Duplessis. Yeah.
Yeah, Duplessis,
But then-
Stain, De Villiers.
But I
they're all
think
there.
the coolest sporting name I've ever heard was another famous Springbok, Bismarck Duplessis. Like, imagine that. You have a kid, you're like, I'm going to name him after a capital ship of the Kriegsmarine.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Ah.
It was awesome. He was the scariest man in the world, too.
And what's the guy that Bucky's Boita?
Bucky's Boita.
One of the great
Oh,
names.
we,
Boita.
yeah, we've heard some stories about Bucky's that we can't repeat on the show.
Oh, we can't. No.
No. Put it this way. Apartheid era South Africa was the Wild West.
Yes.
And he was the sheriff.
It,
A very corrupt sheriff. Oh, I guess no, it was post-apartheid.
it was postponed.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a scary man.
It's like post-grunge.
Yeah.
That's it. We're really delving into all the, the terrible societies tonight.
Nazis, apartheid, we got it all here at the Joust.
Saudi oil money.
Saudi oil money.
We're covering all the derelicts of society.
So we got the bye this weekend, Liam. Thank God.
Did you
I
ever
think
have
the
to
boys-
back on? I don't remember. I don't think we touched on it. Did
No,
we?
no, the dropouts.
I don't think for a flogging. I don't think there was that many players deserving of a hats back on.
No,
really.
no, it was the weirdest flogging that we'd ever received, and we haven't received too many floggings this year, despite losing a lot of games.
Yeah.
I think 4 out of our last 10 games we've lost by less than 6. Less than 6 points. It's been these close contests that could have really been the difference in the season.
What an odd season.
Yeah. So we're climbing up there,
Strange season.
still stranded there on 6 wins.
We're down to 15th. That's not many.
No, but
That's
after
pretty bad.
After the bye, we'll jump ahead of the West Tigers and the Eels, assuming they don't win.
We might see
their
some
games.
history this year. Wayne Bennett's first ever wooden spoon.
Yeah.
It's the only thing in the game he's not done.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
No, he hasn't. Yeah.
He's
I
struggling.
just made that up.
No,
I know he's never got the spoon, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he's done everything in the game.
Yeah, he's done
as
a
a
lot.
coach. He's done most
He's
of them.
done a lot.
He's won comps, won Origin, won everything. Never won a spoon.
Never want a spoon.
Yeah.
You can come to
Wake up to yourself, Wayne.
Yeah. The Knights have got plenty. You can have one of ours.
What a great show that was.
What
Oh, Wayne.
was that show?
Wayne. Wasn't it called? It was called Wayne, I think.
Who was in it?
Oh, Wayne.
No. All right.
Some bloke named
He
Wayne.
was like an alien, but it was just like my younger brother's an alien, but he's just weird kind of thing.
The 90s, eh? Liam, it's the season's gone long enough that I think we can look back and just really judge where rugby league is at. In the segment we like to call the state of the unit of rugby league. Rugby Union League. Yeah, exactly.
We figured what better time to reflect on the season that we've had than a weekend where the Knights have the bye.
Oh, yeah.
So what are we touching on in the state of the rugby league union tonight, Naggy? We're touching on a couple of things. I think that we're probably going to go a bit long on these because there's a lot of ranting to be had.
No, that's right.
The first item that we're going to talk about in the state of the rugby league union or the state of the union of rugby league
Yes.
is the absolutely disgusting state of rugby league media these
yeah.
days. Obviously, we in the alternative media, we're really the ones who are driving the success of the game.
Integrity.
When it seems like the shills, Naggy, the
shillers?
in their mainstream media ivory towers
Yeah.
are just continuing to do their best to tear rugby league apart.
They love the backroom drama,
They
Liam.
love backroom
I
drama.
always said it, like you see a great game of rugby
Yeah.
league, it's celebrated
enjoy
for...
the great game of rugby league.
It's one back page for
Yeah.
one day, but then drama about will coach be sacked? Will this
Yeah.
player go over here? Lockie Galvin, will he go from club to club?
The Lockie
months of
the Lockie
speculation
Galvin
and
is
print.
the worst I think I've ever seen the rugby league media. Because I famously took a trip to New Zealand and I didn't check any social media while I was over there. And I got back and all the talk was about this kid that I've only heard mentioned twice.
Yeah.
There was 1 week where Fox League alone,
Yeah.
in 7 days, put out 8 articles about the Lockie Galvin situation. It was ridiculous. Like, it got to the point where it's like, I do not give a shit about this guy. I'm sure he's good at football. Maybe he's a lovely fella. I don't know. But they won't shut up about him. It's like...
I don't understand, Liam, how if you were explaining to someone that's never watched a game of rugby league before, and you said, well, the team that has come last the last 3 years it has a player that has another 18 months left on his contract, but he doesn't want to play there anymore. And they say, well, what's he going to do? He's going to go to the team that's coming first.
Surprise, surprise.
Why is that allowed?
Yeah.
Under any sort of guise that's it seems to be a system that's working. We have a talented player playing for a club that's been struggling for years, anchored there at the bottom of the ladder, still struggling at the bottom of the ladder, and they let him go early so he can play for the Bulldogs. What do they get in return? Nothing. Not a player transfer. Not maybe some money. But what does money count when you're still like fighting for the spoon again for the 4th year in a row. And what did the media do? They supported the decision. They said, if he's not happy there, he should go.
Yeah.
Fuck off. He should sit out of the game.
That's it. The media's they're trying to drive the game. The media doesn't drive the game. Rugby league drives the game. The on-field product drives the game. The rugby league media have been trying so hard for the last few years to make rugby league about the rugby league media.
Yes.
They're absolutely, every narrative they pick up, they're like, this is the thing. This is the thing that's going to change the game. It's like, you shouldn't be trying to change the game. You're a fucking journalist.
That's right.
You're not a rugby league player.
You're a typewriter pusher.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You haven't held a Steeden in your life.
No, never have. Paul Kent did it one time and he sucked.
That's right.
And then
One
all of a
game.
sudden he's getting paid billions of dollars to get punched into a tree.
Phil Crawley has 50 cigarettes a day.
Yeah, and then
His face is like a catcher's mitt.
and then you say, you see them say, reports say that this player's going there. They're reporting on a report that they reported on that was reporting on some other dickhead on the NRL 360 table.
That's right.
They're creating their own news cycle. Like they're not reporting on things that are happening. They're reporting on things that they said would happen.
That's right.
And
Our very
most of
own
the-
victim, Kalen Ponga,
Yeah.
was destined to leave the club until he came out and said, I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
He-
two weeks ago, the Knights were in crisis. The club was going to collapse. People were going to be driving up and down Turton Road, throwing flaming bags of shit at Marathon Stadium.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
No.
They're
No.
trying to drive all these narratives. Of course, they love kicking the shit out of the Tigers.
Yeah, that's right.
I still don't get why the Tigers get so much hate from the rugby league media.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And then you've got the dickhead sitting around on bloody whatever that show is, NRL 360. They never should have got rid of Iken. He was
no,
perfect
he was.
on that. And then you've got
A voice
two
of
great
reason,
examples. Philip Ronald Gould. Now, we cannot take away from the fact that he is one of the most important, incredible rugby league people of the last, how old is he? 100?
104,
Since the birth of the game. Since 1908 when rugby league was invented.
I think.
Yeah, he was
Same
there when
age as Bellamy, I'm
he
pretty
was
sure.
at the Ship Inn when rugby league was created. I think it was the Ship Inn, or it might have been the Crystal. Anyway, but how do you have someone who is the general manager of a club
That's also-
so prominent in the media saying things like, I've never met Lockie Galvin. I don't know the bloke. Next
then
week, he's there at training.
He signed him, yeah.
You've got Braithen Astor, host of NRL 360.
Player agent. Yeah.
Spinning great stories about his players.
Mm.
Like I don't think I've seen, actually the NBA media might be worse, but there is so few sports on earth where the media tries so hard to be the focus by tearing the game apart.
Do you think this is...
It's terrible.
This is evident of a game still in its infancy.
Could be a game still in its infancy.
It's not really a professional sport.
I don't know.
Not really a
Could be.
professional sport. We've been preyed upon by
Yeah.
the people writing with the pens and the ink.
Yeah, it's
They're buying the ink,
shills.
they're buying the paper and the ink by the ton.
And you never fight with a man who buys the ink by the ton.
That's what they say.
You know who I blame it on?
Yeah.
Society.
Society. Yeah.
Society. It's a societal problem.
societal
We
problem.
want the 24-hour news. We want clicks.
Yeah.
We want dopamine hits by reading bad things about people who are better than us.
Yeah.
We want to see them brought down.
Have you ever read Yahoo Sports?
I think it's a
Absolute
Yahoo
fucking
Serious.
garbage.
And then, even worse, news.com.au are putting out some of the worst articles you've ever read where they're just like randomly quoting people's Twitter.
They're not even articles.
It's like, one Twitter user said that. I was like, heaps of Twitter users say heaps of things. It doesn't mean you put them in print.
Do you remember when
for
articles
people to read?
used to be articles?
They used to be, yeah.
They're just 56 words summarizing the
Yeah.
headline.
Like you used to have great beat reporters. You know, they'd go and they'd hang out with the team. They'd
they'd
go
have
on the
the-
tours. They'd write all the stories.
the
Like
pencils.
it's no wonder that. But like great example was Latrell Mitchell this year. They said we're going to put Latrell Mitchell on a media ban.
Yep.
I don't know why he hasn't been on a media ban for bloody his whole career because
Yeah.
they do nothing but try and tear him down whenever possible.
That's right.
I would not be
Agitate him
surprised.
into being part of the media.
I would not be
again, yeah.
surprised if every rugby league player went, no, we're all on a media ban because you're all shit. You're trying
Yeah.
to tear the game apart. We're trying to make it better by being good at rugby league, putting out a good product. You're doing nothing
not-
but trying to tear the game apart.
It's not about the broadcast.
And now they're infiltrating the bloody the broadcast of the game.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
stepping outside of their
Their
little
roles.
echo chambers, and all of a sudden you've got James Hooper as a sideline reporter,
He's a
constantly
big
looking
crack.
like he's trying to staunch whoever he's interviewing, despite being a full head shorter than him.
Mm.
And it just infuriates me that the media who should be reporting on the game, celebrating the game, making people want to watch the game, it's bloody friggin' Women's Day.
You know the snake
with
eating
a bunch of
Yeah, it's soap opera for
something.
men. Yeah,
Let him
soap-
finish.
sorry that was finished. That was Women's
Women's
Day? Women's Day?
Yeah.
It could be both. It's a day for
It
women,
comes out
but
7
also
times
a day.
faster than Women's Weekly.
Yeah.
The funny thing of just to finish off, Liam, about the state.
See,
of,
Man's
state of
Day
the
would be a really boring magazine. I woke up, I did a shit, and I went to the pub.
The James Hooper, Mike Ennis, Mick Ennis, snake eating each other's tails.
The Ouroboros.
Because James Hooper came
Ouroboros.
Aurora Borealis.
came onto the scene.
Localized entirely within your kitchen.
And he's a journalist.
At this time of day.
This time of day. James Hooper's a journalist, and he came on.
Whoa!
That's what he gets paid to do.
Don't go throwing words around that have no
yeah.
meaning anymore.
But he comes out and pretends like he's a player, and he talks all this all down
Yeah,
there.
he talks like one of the boys.
One of the boys.
Yeah, one of the boys.
But then you got someone like Mick Ennis, who was a player.
Actually, he's one of the boys.
Yeah. And then he wants to be.
They talk the same.
He wants to be a journalist, so he sounds like James Hooper, who's talking like he wants to be one of the boys. Again,
Yeah.
the snake is eating its tail. Liam.
And then you've got, all the players they put on the panel, for the most part, and this isn't exclusive to either Channel 9 or Fox Sports. They're both doing a pretty shit job.
The big two, yeah.
Some of the players former players they bring on the panels these days, I won't name names, they shouldn't be speaking.
No.
Like at all. Don't listen to him. Sean
listen.
Johnson's a breath of fresh air. He's
Isn't he
doing great.
gorgeous? Isn't he
But
gorgeous?
he's fantastic.
Yeah,
He's so
yeah.
good. He's so good looking.
The one saving grace of the look back is that Sean Johnson is now
Yeah.
doing more stuff with rugby league in front of the microphone,
Yeah.
extending his career.
But that's it. Like, they have such an enormous pool of people to pick from when it comes to former rugby league players who should be talking about rugby league.
Yeah.
And they've somehow just
Pick the worst one.
They've reached into the bottom of the barrel, cut a hole in the bottom of the barrel,
Yeah, pour water
started
in.
digging,
Yeah.
and just pull. I don't know.
It's absolutely it's ridiculous.
This
the
has
kind of
been
people
building. This has been building
yeah.
in me.
Well, they even
It's
had
been
the-
building for years.
Who's
Like
the-
it's been happening for years. The state of the rugby league media has been getting worse and worse and worse.
Who's the-
You've got Rothfield and Crawley and
Yeah,
Anasta
it's
and
been there for
Hooper
40 plus
sitting around
years.
a fucking table,
Dean Richards losing
arguing
his mind.
amongst themselves. It's like there's so few good rugby league journalists these days.
Who's the queen?
Nick Campton, fantastic. Someone else.
Barry Toohey.
Barry Toohey, fantastic.
fantastic.
That's it. That's the only one.
Adam Murray.
Salad Murray, he's fantastic. There's three. That's it. There's three good ones.
Who's the Queenslander guy that used to get on everyone's nerves? Played centre, he's retired now.
Brent Tate.
No,
Chelsea Date Tate.
No, he's the other one. He used to,
Justin Hodges.
no, there's been a lot of the Queensland
Yeah, heaps
centres.
of them.
No, he's more modern. He played for the Storm.
Coop Gronk.
No, he was a centre. No, I'll think of it later.
O'Neill.
Oh, can't think of it.
Dane Nielsen.
No, we're getting closer though.
I don't know if we are now. I'm not sure that we are.
But anyway,
Oh, bloody
yeah,
friggin' yeah.
the hair and the eyes
and
and
the
the
face
nose,
and the
yeah.
ears held together in the face. The one that everyone hates.
Yeah.
He went to the show. Will Chambers.
Will Chambers.
Yeah.
They put him on television.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Shit.
Why would you ever put him on television?
I don't know.
Oh, my
I didn't.
God.
It's like
Yeah.
Scott Prince all over again. with
And
the-
then,
with
you
the
know,
Twitch.
you've got, and then in an effort to cut costs, you've got bloody commentators
Yeah.
who are commentating the game, watching it on a television because the NRL don't
move
want to
them
pay
around,
them
yeah.
to go to the games.
Yeah.
And I know that's sort of only tangentially related to the rugby league media, but even that in and of itself is an embarrassment to the game.
Embarrassment.
To the game.
Liam, we're
Tear it down.
we're
Tear down the whole fifth column and just have us, the alternative rugby league media.
We're so fired
There's
up,
so
Liam.
many good podcasts and shows and people who are generating fan content. Not enough, by the way.
Not
There
enough.
should be more.
Yeah.
But this is the people you should be listening to.
I think so.
Us.
It's
Not
about the
shills.
fans, not the broadcasters.
No, they're in
Bring
their ivory tower.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
just in a small hut.
the small hut.
Small hut. Maybe an igloo.
We have to use this energy, Liam, to fix what's wrong with the
No,
world.
we're the refereeing. That's
Oh,
the
God.
other state of the Union League.
We might have to say that for next week, Liam.
Yeah,
We
we've
got
gone
the-
a bit long.
We got the fixes, Liam, for the fixes for this week. Thank you. It's something that's been bothering us, especially as rugby league fans, but it's just out there, and these is punctuation and words and grammar.
Yes.
And I think the worst one that continues.
Anything that comes out of a rugby league journalist's mouth.
If we saw recently that our very own Danga guy has re-signed.
I had a
with the-
little heart attack when I read he's resigned.
Well, this is the problem.
It's the concern.
The word re-signed is meaning that you're continuing your occupation.
It's spelled the same as resigned, which means to cease your
to
occupation.
cease your occupation.
Yeah.
How has this been allowed to be in the English language? It's been developing over hundreds of years.
It's
Can't
an
we fix
old
this?
language at this
Yeah.
stage. You know,
But
we've
why
had
do
it for a while.
We have the same word read two different ways, which means the opposite.
And not only is this, not the only example, there's so many of them. Inflammable and flammable.
Well,
what the hell's going on there?
you'd think if
Two
something-
different words, but they mean the same.
If
Quite
some-
the opposite of the re-sign, resign conundrum.
Because you feel like if something was flammable, and something you've got to catch fire. Don't
Yeah.
bring a flame around that, it's flammable. And then you see something that's inflammable. You think, that should be safe. Because
Yeah.
it should be the opposite of that. Both mean flame.
Well, it's like, of course, the famous and infamous thing. Like, if you're
Famous,
famous, you're
yeah.
pretty famous. But if you're infamous,
Yeah.
you are extra famous,
Extra
of course.
well, you're famous
very,
for the wrong,
very famous.
For the wrong reasons.
That was a Three Amigos joke.
Oh, it's a damn it.
But yeah, there's so many. There's rescind and resigned. There's what were the other ones? Pom had about 7 examples. I've forgotten all of them.
He's forgotten them all
bugger.
as well. But no, we have to fix this as far as bring back the hyphen.
We had
I
a
think,
bunch. Sorry.
to realise to fix the resigned, re-signed thing is bring back the hyphen, Liam.
There's two things.
Re-signed.
There's two things in this crumbling society that we live in that are sort of bringing about the harbinger of man's doom.
Yeah.
And it's we're not using hyphens properly, and we're not appreciating the Oxford comma.
Yeah.
That's when society started to crumble. When some dickhead said, "We don't need that comma in there." You do need the comma.
Some people use the comma as the full stop. Absolutely, absolutely, shits me to
Don't
tears.
listen to those people. Don't listen to them.
And while we're on it, the word meteoric sounds way too close to the word mediocre. And again, when there's a meteoric rise, it sounds like they've just sort of plateaued for a bit. They're just like, no, it's meant to be that it's fantastic, but mediocre means shit.
Well, that's it. That was like my, rugby union career. We'd always get on the piss after the games. Like, he's had a meteoric rise. Like, I have had a meteoric rise. Like,
Yeah.
not that one.
No,
Nope.
the other one.
You haven't had that one.
Mediocre one.
Mediocre rise.
Mediocre
Yeah.
rise.
I think it's all downhill.
It's all there. Is that good?
I like going down.
It's like off the cuff. What the hell does off the cuff mean?
Yeah.
What's on the cuff to start with
I
that you're
don't know.
taking it off?
Is that on the shirt? Is that what it means?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
The man that has all
Not
the
many other things have cuffs, shirts, pants. That's about it.
bring back the hyphens
Handcuffs?
is the only way
Oh,
that,
off the cuff, maybe it's a handcuff comes off.
and then you're released.
You release. No, because off the cuff means
that's
that you're
I don't
released.
think that's it.
We don't have the answers, Liam. We can bring back the hyphen. That's the only way we can fix these words. But the man that can fix everything is the appliance guy, Mr. K. Chesworth. Mr. K. Chesworth, he's there. He can fix everything, including refrigeration, air conditioning. He is prompt everything that's you
I'll tell you, he could probably write a hell of a good rugby league article
I'm
too.
sure he's fantastic
Without
at that.
trying to bring the game into disrepute, without trying to bring the game down. He would talk about the good stuff
That's right.
in rugby league.
The good stuff. And he's all about the
Yeah.
good stuff and fixing the things that aren't working properly in your house. If you're not sure how to fix it, you give the appliance guy a call and you can contact him on this number.
0414 760 542.
He's got an email, he's got a number. Well, it says Cade, the appliance guy at gmail.com. Make sure you give him a call. I'm sure he covers all the areas, including Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, up to Port Stephens. And hey, if you're on the Central Coast, give him a call. I'm sure he will
Group
travel.
21, now
Group
that
21.
there's a memorandum of understanding, you'll probably head out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, he will. Liam, we've got a game in not this week, but the following week, and that is against
So far away.
so far
Naggy.
away. And it's because it's the Penrith Panthers, and it's at 6 p.m.
And it's a resurgent Penrith Panthers
resurgent
too.
Penrith
Yeah,
Panthers.
maybe my sort of little ditty I had about Ivan Cleary trying to win a premiership from last.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you called it at 10.
Onto something.
Sorry, at round 10. Yeah, look where we
Magic
are.
us after magic around. Yeah.
And he's going to kick us down the stairs on his way up. Joust, if you like us, you can like us on all and find us on all the social pipes, including TikTok, YouTube, Apple Tunes, Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify. No longer on SoundCloud. Don't look for us there. Thank you.
When Elon accused Donald Trump of being on the Epstein list, I almost started our Twitter up again. I was like, yeah, we like Elon now. He's
It's never
good.
too late. Thank you for joining me, Liam. Thank you to all the Joust team. But to play us out as our musical guest for the very, very first time here,
And probably the last time.
probably the last time you ever see him again, Mr. Guitar Woods.
Thank you.